Heavenly Father, your will is my will. Fill me with the Holy Spirit and guide me to heal. I am ready now, Father. I am ready to see the Christ, my Savior, in every brother I see. Holy Son of God, wake up. Let all bodies fall away like dry leaves. Let all thoughts and feelings evaporate in the light. All that remains is the light. And I see that the light in me is no different than the light in my brother. So I merge with the light, and I feel the presence of my brother mix and unite with me. And never will I ever feel alone again, nor he. And there is peace and love, because this is Christ, ever shining, ever extending the thought of peace and love from God the Father. Thanks be to God. All right. So, this is a course in miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want at a given time. So it is a required course. What makes it required? The teacher's manual refers to it as the universal curriculum. That's a curriculum with many thousands of forms, as there are many paths to God. And the course being just one of those many thousand paths to God. Manual 1, Section 4. This is a manual for a special curriculum, intended for teachers of a special form of the universal course. There are many thousands of other forms, all with the same outcome. So the universal curriculum is required. You are destined, one way or the other, to take the universal curriculum, because you cannot remain separate from God. You can't. So whether you follow a path of A Course in Miracles, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, or any other path, all of that is entirely up to you, be it in this life or another. However, eventually you will return your mind to God, because you were created of and by God with a like mind. You can't get away from it. However, be it that you are listening now and likely reading about the Course, it is apparent that the Course in Miracles, this special form of the universal curriculum, has been assigned to you. And could you have asked for a better, more explicit and detailed manual of life, the universe, and everything? I personally used to be very frustrated with the religions of the world and all their obvious lacks, because for me, it was so obvious that truth had been ceaselessly distorted and garbled by humans over the millennia. It's just clear to see that it is impossible to cleanly discern between the original teachings and the embellishments of monks and scholars all throughout the hundreds and hundreds of years. So it's impossible to see the actual first teaching through all of that. The Course comes to us recently, as opposed to teachings that are thousands of years old. The Course comes to us recently, and it comes to us from the other side, not from a single person or even a group of people. The Course was dictated to, channeled by, transcribed by a human scribe, but the source was heavenly. And just skimming through the Course, even for just a few minutes, you'll quickly realize that you're looking upon something that is not of this world. It is profound. It is genuine. It is otherworldly. Just read it. I encourage you to just read a little bit, and you'll recognize that it could not have possibly come from just one person. It speaks to our inner self with a timeless authority that we recognize, and it is the key out of here. So the goal of the Course is to have an experience in which you see that the thoughts that you think, the world you think you see, is all in the mind. There is no inner and outer mind. There's just one perception, one awareness, one dreamer that is dreaming the dream of existence. The hot mess of the world that you perceive that is always attacking you was created by your own mind, the mind of the Holy Son of God. And from where else does the dream arise but from the mind of the dreamer? When you truly see this, that it is a dream and you're dreaming it, victimization disappears. For who is doing what to whom? So when you see this, the problems are gone because you've taken responsibility for your own mind. You are the dreamer, and the dream didn't come from anywhere else but from you. And you can take responsibility for that. To accept responsibility for your own mind is to accept the atonement, which simply means the undoing of what we have miscreated here. That's the goal of mind training. So back to the introduction, the Course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. So, briefly, the true meaning of love cannot be found in the world using the body's senses. But if you look within, the true meaning of love can be found in the holy instant, which reaches to eternity and into the mind of God. Text 15, section 5, and it is only there that love has meaning, and only there that it can be understood. Okay, back to the summary. The Course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So that is the quintessential summary of the Course. And this introduction actually gives us the complete answer. The complete answer. And the entire book that follows is just the gentle unpacking of those three little sentences. I've long told myself that the truth is simple. Truth is always simple. And I've always refused to believe in the stifling complexity and ritual and dogma of the organized religions. And the Course confirms this. Truth is simple. It's the ego that brings complexity. So some may say that the Course itself is a jumbled hot mess. And it can appear that way when you look at the big chunk of the book. It's huge, it's massive, it might be daunting to take that on. But really, the complexity that you see is just because your mind is so unaccustomed to seeing truth. It doesn't recognize truth, and it finds it difficult to absorb it, to chew it up and digest it. Your mind needs a long, drawn-out, gentle transition from insanity to sanity, from fear to love. It takes time to process all of that. And since it's addressing a mind that's still strongly identified with the ego, it uses the language of the ego, which is complexity. So there is a semblance of complexity, but the core message is always simple. Simplicity, just like it says in the intro, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Doesn't get any more simple than that. So when we deeply identify with the world, the body, with thoughts and feelings, we don't recognize the real. Recognize here meaning recognize, to know again. For the real, what we really are, is changeless. And we are just recalling who and what we really are. So what is real and unreal? The real is eternal, joyful spirit. Spirit has no beginning or ending and just is. The eternal, joyful spirit just is. In the mind of God, everything just is. There are no comparisons, no differences to make comparisons, and no judgments. So when I was a teenager, I heard this message played again and again. Everything just is. I didn't know what it meant, and because there was no clarity as of yet at that time, I found it to be quite depressing. Everything just is sounds very purposeless, doesn't it? Everything just is. I was missing the first part of the message, which is that in the mind of God, everything just is. Is what is love. It's perfect equality in love. So the Course finally delivered the full part of that, the message. So text 6, section 3, the perfect equality of the Holy Spirit's perception is the counterpart of the perfect equality of God's knowing. The ego's perception has no counterpart in God, but the Holy Spirit remains the bridge between perception and knowledge. By enabling you to use perception in a way that parallels knowledge, you will ultimately meet it and know it. So to say everything just is to use perception in a way that parallels knowledge of God Himself. And I wish I had known that when I was a teenager and all the way up to recent years, but apparently I had other things to do and other things to learn. But I am here now with the Course, with you, thanks be to God. So that is the real, eternal, joyful spirit. What is the unreal? The unreal is changeful, suffering, the changeful, suffering, miserable ego. And that's what we're born into and what we're deeply, 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 deeply identified with. So we have nothing real can be threatened, that's spirit. We have nothing unreal exists, which is ego and the world. Herein lies the peace of God. And we are going for that peace, the peace of God. So this is a course in mind training, and you will need that training to reach that peace. And with that training, you will reach a point whereupon you realize that actually you need do nothing. But you need the training to get there. You need the mind training to get there. More on you need do nothing later. So the course gives you a lesson a day, 365 lessons to complete a year. And that gently reveals what is real and what is unreal. And that is peace, to recognize the real, to let go and merely watch the unreal and to lift the veil of the unreal and to see the real beyond it. So seeing in the world involves perception. Let's talk about that. Workbook lesson 1. Nothing I see means anything. You can also say that nothing I see, nothing I perceive means anything. Nothing I perceive with the 5 senses means anything. Workbook lesson 4 says, these thoughts do not mean anything. So in these very first few lessons, it is already telling you that nothing in this world means anything. It's a make-believe world. It's a make-believe world, including the natural world. So everything we see is make-believe, like a fairy tale story. That's a huge, huge statement. It's calling upon you to disregard everything you see, and say, and start again. So, workbook part 2, introduction 4. To sense is not to know, and truth can be but filled with knowledge and nothing else. To sense is not to know. That's why nothing real, which is truth, can be threatened. Because how can anything unreal threaten the real? Nothing unreal exists. Sure, a dream body can be threatened in a dream world, but what is a dream to the dreamer? Ultimately, dreams are nothing. The perfect metaphor for this, of course, is when you, the human, go to sleep at night and enter into a sleep dream. While you're dreaming, you completely believe it's real, of course. Yet it's still unreal. It doesn't exist. Regardless of how you feel in the dream while you're dreaming it, nothing in the dream has or will ever harm you. It's the same in this physical world, in this perceived physical world. Regardless of how you feel in the dream while you're dreaming the dream of existence, nothing in the dream has or will ever harm you, your true self, because nothing unreal exists. So text 24, section 5. In dreams, effect and cause are interchanged. For here the maker of the dream believes that what he made is happening to him. The maker of the dream believes that what he made is happening to him. He's in a dream, he thinks it's real, it's not. If you identify with this dream body, there will be fear, which is exactly what the ego wants. Fear keeps you locked in the dream. It is the cogs of the machine that keeps you trapped, and you made it that way. But with this recognition of this simple introduction, life gets easier. You can disidentify from the world, body, thoughts, and feelings, and then life becomes more relaxing and playful. So don't try to figure out the world. There is no way to understand the world of the ego without using the ego itself. Don't use the ego. Don't try to figure out or fix the unreal. It's not real, and that's why it can't be fixed. The world, the body, thoughts and feelings, all of which are unreal, is but a veil covering the stillness of simple truth. Because the veil obscures what is real, no one reacts to anything directly. We all react to interpretations of the unreal. And divided minds interpret differently. And it's no wonder that there are so many wars and conflicts every single day, because no one sees the same thing. Each person has a private mind with private thoughts, and they all feel that they have to guard those thoughts and navigate the world fearfully. It's a world of privacy and secrecy and caution. No two people have the same perception. And what can be more unrealistic than that? No two people see the same thing, ever. But as we chose to interpret the unreal, we can also choose not to. We can choose to interpret nothing, and in this there is peace. If we but listen to what this little introductory summary is telling us, we can look at only the real. The real is oneness. There is no need there to protect or hide anything. There is no need for private thoughts, no need for secrecy. We need but recollect the mind of God. It is a state of mind without judgment or fear of any kind. And with such a mind, you see the real world. And that's a beautiful world. Text 14, section 5. When you have learned to decide with God, all decisions become as easy and right as breathing. There is no effort, and you will be led as gently as if you were being carried along a quiet path in summer. That's nice. And that's the peace the introduction talks about. Herein lies the peace of God. In the mind of God, there are no opinions as such like that. It is to be without judgment, to be without opinions, and that is peace, and I highly recommend it. It's very calm and peaceful to have no opinions. Some might say, well, if you have no judgment, no opinions, then you're weak, you're meek. You'll get stepped on, you'll get abused, you'll become a doormat. But that's not true. Because stillness is strength. Text 2, section 5, the meek shall inherit the earth. They will literally take it over because of their strength. The ego, which thrives on opinions and judgments, is rendered powerless in the light of truth. Powerless in the perfect equality of the Holy Spirit's perception, which becomes your perception if you but ask for it. It's a great way to live without opinions. Opinions are the cogs in the machine of the ego. Judgments, comparisons, differences, guilt, opinions. But you can look upon these things and see them for what they really are. Just see the unreal as unreal, but from a place of joy and without condemnation. When you finally start to see the truth, you don't condemn the people that are still dreaming, those parts of the self, those divided parts of the Holy Son of God that are still in dream and wrapped up in it tightly. You see the truth, and that does not call for condemnation. So when you accept stillness for yourself, you accept stillness for the entire universe. Stillness just is. Text 6, section 4, by attacking nothing, he presents no barriers at all to the communication of God. Therefore, being is never threatened. Your godlike mind can never be defiled. How about that? Your godlike mind can never be defiled. The ego never was and never will be part of it. So when you have no beliefs to defend and you're not identified with beliefs, you can be playful. You can drop the mask. You can have no opinion, and it becomes a holy instant. Every encounter becomes a holy encounter, and that's very, very, very practical. You can handle anything in any situation just by surrendering to the truth of these concise sentences. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Text 25, section 3. This world has much to offer your peace, to your peace, and many chances to extend to you your own forgiveness. Such its purpose is to those who want to see peace and forgiveness descend on them and offer them the light. That's us. We want that peace. The maker of the world of gentleness has perfect power to offset the world of violence and hate that seems to stand between you and his, God's gentleness. So by wanting that gentleness, you will see gentleness, and this removes the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, and that is peace. You look upon the real. To you I say, Holy Son of God, wake up. And thank you dearly for waking. Workbook 131, paragraph 14 and 15. Put out your hand and see how easily the door swings open with your one intent to go beyond it. Angels light the way so that all darkness vanishes, and you're standing in a light so bright and clear that you can understand all things you see. A moment of surprise, perhaps, will make you pause before you realize the world you see before you in the light reflects the truth you knew and did not quite forget in wandering away in dreams. You cannot fail today. There walks with you the Spirit heaven sent you, that you might approach this door someday, and through his aid slip effortlessly past it to the light. Today, that day has come. Thank you.